Peachy and I met and we started off great. We started talking for a while, eventually got into a relationship. After an hour. As time passed, Peachy started sending nudes. But then I sent one of myself. Bad move.
Hi, my name is Sam Coates, and welcome to my downward spiral reality of complaining about the Splatoon community.
Today is a very special episode to say the least, because it is about time to share my criticism and to give a fat reality check to someone I have also wanted to make a video on ever since the Elagadelia video. You can tell by the title alone who this video is on. Now, it's kinda obvious at this point that I despise the Splatoon community for being so incompetent in dealing with drama, or even making a simple apology. Now, as always, I don't condone any of you to harass, witch hunt, bully, or attack anyone involved in this. They are just as human as you are, but a line is needing to be drawn on what's acceptable and what is not. Knowing that I'm the one responsible for someone being witch hunted is unsatisfying. For previous, present, and future uploads similar to this, I wish you the viewer as well as the person I'm critiquing, which, if you're there TCS, hey, how you going? I want all of you to watch the video entirely before you form an opinion on me.
You can call me a vigilante, I don't really care. My main goal is for the truth to be out there, and my main priority for this video is to provide awareness and the safety of the members, especially minors, since, well, they're involved in it when they probably shouldn't be. And if it needs to come to the point that someone's career, including my own, is on the edge, I'm willing to take that risk. By the title, it's kind of obvious on who this is about. But we're not going to go over just the drama. Nah. That'll just be boring. No. I'm going to go and dive into the mind of TCS and start with the origin of him.
Let's head back to 2008.
It's over 9,000!
2008 was a pretty good time on the internet with its memes. The This Is Sparta remix took the internet by storm, based on the famous line from the movie 300. On January 4th, 2010, our friend the Canadian Spartan took this once sacred meme and swooped in and fed on the remains like a vulture. For the next 8 years, he would use Sparta remixes to boost his channel based off various media to build the empire he is today. Now, if you want to make Sparta remixes, be my guest. They're a gem of meme culture, but in my opinion, you make one brutal little mistake, and that is one little line in your description. I'm a frequent uploader who makes original content and Splatoon Gmod videos for a living, and that's fine if you want to upload frequently. You have a much more ticket to success in getting into YouTube's algorithm, but original content? I don't think so, buddy. My evidence to prove that is through his 3 other channels that he has, since those channels are pretty much free promotion for his main channel, and his main posts the highlights of the other 3 channels. The 3 channels I'm talking about are Object Gaming Network, Dead Minute, and GameTage. Object Gaming is a gaming channel, and GameTage is a rage compilation channel from big YouTubers such as Markiplier, PewDiePie, and the Game Grumps. All big channels that have a massive following and have channels dedicated to recording their best moments, so already your originality sticker is looking to be peeling off. Both channels are pretty self-explanatory on what they do, but the one that has been the most interesting for me has been Dead Minute. So the premise of this channel is to post scary scenes and death clips from movies. A very niche choice of content, but an interesting idea nonetheless. Probably the only thing you'll ever do that's original. Now, in normal circumstances, this would be totally fine practice, since people like myself can understand the difference between fiction and reality. But it's certainly concerning, since around the time you made the announcement for this channel is when you started to change your channel into a Splatoon Gmod channel. And which group of people enjoy SFM and Gmod videos? Children. And some kids cannot think critically enough to realize that the death in movies are all scripted. Now, when you start your channel as a SFM or Gmod creator, you shouldn't act surprised when you find out that most of your audience is young children. Kids love watching these channels. Heck, I am guilty of it when I watched Alex Spider when I was new to this community. But as time went on, I grew out of the Splatoon Gmod videos since they felt stale, cookie cutter, and brought really nothing interesting to the table. It was so formulaic and it lacked what made it successful in the first place. The best I see from the SFM and Gmod community now is videos reanimating it into memes at the times, which can just go to show how much a video will age over time. I'm fully aware that animation takes a long time to do. I'm aware of that from taking animation classes for 2 years at school. But with channels like Lizzie the Ratsicle before Pick Surprises exposed her, laziness was just kind of given a blind eye. It's just like YouTube's algorithm, the community expected quantity over quality content. I'm not sure. Maybe when I just got older, my levels of mediocrity skyrocketed. Now, having other channels created to promote yourself is pretty harmless. It's pretty common to do that, as a lot of channels have secondary channels to post like behind the scenes stuff and to promote their bigger channel. But the true narcissistic behavior is any sense of attention when it's not even a straight up shout out. TCS needs to get on his little stand and tell the world, "Hey everyone, this person said my name," or "I was featured in this video," which I really have no words besides my dissatisfaction on how easy it was to find this. With Spartan's channel as a whole, what I see is not a good YouTuber, not a bad YouTuber, but a YouTuber. There's no set in stone media that he chooses. It's like Viola, he decides to post whatever the fuck he wants. Because the more I look into the mind of this individual, the more twisted it becomes. So let's review his content. He claims that he creates original content, but how much of that is actually true? Let's start with these Sparta remixes. Well, for a start, they're not original, due to the sheer number of them and the peak of the meme, as well as how much he has milked the shit out of them, just like every 3 AM YouTuber's content. You could say that they boosted his channel to the empire he is now, but originality is not. Yet, I must applaud him for some very creative work, such as the Lavender Town one, so I'll give him that. Making compilations on clips of big YouTubers, again, not the most original idea, since there's hundreds of channels dedicated that no amazing one-liner or joke goes unseen or recorded. So far, you're not looking too hard on the creativity scale. Gmod in the Splatoon community? Hundreds of people have the same dream as you. It's just like the hundreds of interchangeable prank channels back then. What differentiates yourself from everyone else? Every different art movement, including YTPs, have evolved over the years. But Gmod, in my opinion, has actually de-evolved. And I'm gonna make a controversial statement that Gmod isn't art. Yeah, fucking sue me. A gaming channel? Well, from what I'm aware, Let's Play channels have been oversaturated to shit for the last few years. Unless you're a high-energy gamer that curses every 2 seconds, a legit celebrity or someone plucked straight out of Hollywood, I think you're more likely winning the lottery than becoming a gaming channel on YouTube. Or, you know, you could sell your soul to YouTube by becoming a kids channel, but where's the fun in that? And even the channel about the movie death clips, which I thought would have been your most original content, movie clips and whole movies, whether it's legal or pirated, are everywhere on YouTube. It's kind of a shame that you call yourself an original content creator when all your content is mediocre and has already been done before, so let me be real with you. No one on this platform is original. Well, that's over-exaggerated since there is original content out there, but I'm, for one, not original. I mean, there's hundreds and thousands of commentary channels who have a bigger audience and are probably more well-respected than I am. I just do this for the safety of others, since as much as I despise the Splatoon community, I wanted to make a safe environment for everyone, new or old, young and mature to the fanbase. Also, it's worth mentioning that people are only going to watch your content with what you made yourself popular off. Like, try this out on your computer, like test this theory later if you're on a handheld device. Go to a channel and notice the view count on what makes them popular and other types of content. You will either notice a huge difference on the viewership, or their audience will understand that they are the type of creator to branch out of other types of content. It all comes down to timing with branching your audience, and it's crucial, since it can be too late in a certain type of videos all your audience will ever watch. In your case, there's the Sparta remixes, and even though you've moved on from doing them, you did them for like, what, 8 years, so people are genuinely going to watch you or remember you for what you brand yourself as. Wait, where were we? Oh yeah, but keeping the community safe. You see, we're in a time that people like TCS and YouTubers are being treated like celebrities, and when you put these people like him and celebrities on these impossibly high pedestals, you kind of forget that they're equally flawed as everyone else is. Because if mediocre content was the only thing TCS did, this video wouldn't exist. But I want to take you on a trip down to the Discord downward spiral.
Come on, people now! Smile on your brother! Everybody get together!
Now, the cases that happen on Discord are so much more interesting on how he is on YouTube, since it perfectly describes the different natures of TCS showcases on different platforms. God fucking help us if he doesn't see both platforms as two different entities. With Discord, it brings out his sexual side, his anger when things don't go his way, how he abuses his power over his young audience, as well as the side of showing how much of a massive hypocrite he is by calling out and cancelling people for their own actions. We're going to start off with this individual who goes by the name of Peachy, which her entire existence was being paid to be an actor on getting evidence on the fact that TCS was a predator. Pretty much your typical Discord predator hunter. Now here's the thing, it worked, since TCS bought into it, but I feel like it worked too well. Right off the bat, TCS should have understood that the relationship with Peachy is kinda suspicious. But it apparently didn't stop him from pushing this relationship, as Peachy cracked the center of TCS's sexual desires and fantasies, from making not safe for work artwork, erotic roleplays, buying into her nudes, even though they were taken off the web, sending dick pics to her, even spending money on her and holding it above her head.
Nice dick, Joker. Gaming right now, though.
Think of him holding money over her head like, if I scratch your back, you scratch mine. He paid money to purchase Discord Nitro for Peachy and expected to be repaid with his own sexual fantasies, that being ERPs, phone sex, etc. To say that TCS is a shit lover would be an understatement, mainly for being too touchy and clingy when Peachy was pretty much asking for space. I believe the worst offense he has done is during Peachy's time in a mental hospital, which isn't true since she just wanted to take a break from him. Now, as a normal person would, you would hope that, they're doing alright and checking in on them, right? Nah, that shit sucks. I'm gonna ask for nude pictures of her in the hospital and send her a daughter. I honestly wish that last one was fucking fake, but it's real.
He thought the relationship was real, and he treated a girlfriend that he thought was real like this. He held money over a girlfriend who he thought was real's head. He sent a dildo to a girlfriend who he thought was real's house after she came out of a mental hospital from killing herself.
Now, doing all this is pretty bad enough, but because it's in the comfort of two individuals. It's not like TCS is going to, share their sexual relationship with others, right?
Wow.
And you're honestly surprised when people call you a fucking creep by denying when the evidence is on public display for people to see. Like, honestly, how close-minded are you? I am truly starstruck on how you are so in denial with your own actions, as it's led to another user needing to give you a hard reality check.
If you will fight, then stand resolute.
Now, as I last mentioned in the Peachy section, Peachy's incident was so bad to the point that another user by the alias name Moka needed to reassure him and admit to his own mistakes towards her, such as admitting Moka was underage, being 16 at the time, sending Peachy's nudes to her even though they were fake, as well as talking about his genitalia to Moka. After all this happened, TCS looked like he was backed into a corner. But he brought it upon himself to start a battle he clearly didn't have the winning outcome in, because audio recordings were shared in the first Dropbox with people talking about the natures of TCS. There's even a recording of TCS defending himself yet denying every claim made on him. Now, I painstakingly listened to around 3 hours of complaining, and after going through all the tweets TCS posted, it just makes him look so delusional and the biggest hypocrite on the planet. Now, I've picked up some of the tweets that I can definitely talk about. The rest you can read in the Dropbox and the audio files that you can listen to. Moka is nothing more than drama thirsty. Own up to your own actions or get lost. It'll be very nice if you can own up to your own fucking actions, TCS. So Peachy is a real person, huh? Well, now, looks like I've found my evidence. Moka is Peachy. Which means he's been using this Peachy account as an alt to expose me to Ishii and Blazin the entire time. Thank you, Isa Mika, for giving me this evidence. Checking the LATCS files at 11:53, Peachy mentions that her and Moka are two different people due to them being in the same call. Plus, by checking the audio files, you can distinctly tell that Peachy and Moka have different vocal cords. I'm not sure if you were unaware or just plain clueless.
And his fans know that I'm a completely different person, because me and Moka were in a voice chat together like the other night in the same place talking, and his fans realized it and half of them left. So that's pretty.
Like, holy fuck, TCS. I knew you were dumb, but I really underestimated your stupidity.
You know what Layla told me about you, Moka? Layla told me that you put her through such a traumatic experience that she developed PTSD because of it. She was crying, Moka, and you said right to her face that you didn't give a shit if she cried. She is a very young girl, Moka. Again, this is so out of context, because Moka's reasoning why she felt no remorse is because of the sexual yet questionable actions you've done towards her. You're not even trying to defend yourself here. Plus, if your friend ended up crying, Moka said that she doesn't care since you've traumatized her with your own actions. There's no way in hell she's going to talk to you like you're her best friend, let alone act like that to your friends who are just as delusional as you are. And if it drove your friend to have a fucking PTSD instead that she was a young girl, geez TCS, maybe it wasn't such a good fucking idea for her letting a 13-year-old in the call in the first place because they cannot think critically. If she was that sensitive to the fact someone was giving them hard evidence on their friend being a potential predator in the community, it really just goes to show how jaded all your friends must be. Oh yes, these messages. You know something? I lied about almost everything here. I knew you were underage, but I never talked sexually to you or about my fucking dick. You just expected a yes out of me every time I fucking lied to you. Get you off my back. You pressured me. Really just goes to show how trustworthy and legitimacy people should have towards you, as well as how credible you must be. You have literally dug your own grave. Well done. If you yourself said that what you said was true, then do a 180 and said you lied, it really just goes to show who's the more mature one in the situation now, does it? I think clearly you're the one who needs help. While recording someone's voice without permission is illegal, people shouldn't really be glossing over the fucked up shit that you've caused. But no, like GF, we have to sympathize with the big YouTuber, since the big YouTuber is always right. Since he's mad about someone calling out the denial man he is, since you're just some flawless person in your mind. Let's just throw the victims under the bus, since I'm the one you should feel sorry for. And it seems that reality caught up to you as you eventually made an apology to Peachy.
I'm simply here to apologize.
I've always despised apologies from the Splatoon community, since they never keep their word by contradicting their apology by either doing the same thing or something worse in a few weeks and months. I said this in my Eligadelia video and my Viola video, and I will still stand by that statement today, so let's take a read over his apology. An apology to the community and Peachy. I realized that I had been reckless, being too happy and wholesome, talking about my fan art, being overprotective, being paranoid, having to overthink, jumping to conclusions, and lastly hurting Peachy in the end. All this happened without my realization, and I feel terrible about it all. I never realized that all of this can result in drama all around me. I didn't realize people were talking about me behind my back. I didn't realize that my reputation was going down the drain.
Well, that's more of a you problem. Anyone in the same situation as you would have seen red flags way before you would have actually noticed them.
Didn't realize that I was always talking about my fan art and my relationship with Peachy in every server too much. I didn't realize anything that was happening right in front of my eyes. All of this is my fault. Doing all of these things without realizing it. I take full responsibility in my mistakes. This caused so many people to think of me in a negative light.
Are you really sorry for what you've done? Are you only apologizing because you got caught? Later on in the video, it'll clearly show which side of apologizing you actually showed. And people have all rights to see you in a negative way, which will also be shown later down the video. You're extremely aggressive, and any sense of criticism that isn't sucking your dick is deemed harassment for you.
I was too happy, and that caused people to turn their backs on me. Not even knowing that they have done that makes me so much worse. I wanted to apologize to the community for my actions. These actions were the worst things I could have ever done. As for Peachy, I want to apologize for being too reckless with our relationship. Talking about it in other servers almost all the time to simply enjoying our fan art too much. The way I treated you was unjustified, and I take full responsibility for it. But these 3 weeks with you have been something I've never experienced before in my life. True happiness. Being with you always brightened up my day, but that happiness got to me and I couldn't stop being too wholesome, and it cost us our relationship in the end.
Well, maybe understanding or setting boundaries in a relationship might have not made it spiral out of control, and this video probably, wouldn't exist.
The truth is, I've never been in a relationship before in my life because I used to have behavior issues growing up. After realizing everything I've done, I had to make this letter because of the guilt I was feeling had to be explained sooner or later. I can't take any of the things I've done back, but I could certainly improve on who I am as a person. I could try to be someone I never thought I would be. Someone that people can actually talk to in a normal conversation. Someone who can manage to be in a stable relationship with a girl. Someone who can live life to the fullest. And someone who will respect everyone in a community without any problems from me.
Holy fuck. You're showing you really don't want hater criticism. And you just want to be a flawless person now, do you, TCS? Let me just be real with you. You could cure cancer and solve world peace, and there's going to be someone out there that's going to fucking hate you. It's an inevitability that people are going to hate you. It's how humans are. Like, you can make the most original and comedic thing in the planet, and someone out there is going to dislike it. And you openly attacking and acting like the Terminator on your channel, and you as a person by taking down anything negative to set a perfect image of yourself, is going to make yourself a bigger target than you already openly expressed yourself as, which you are sensitive to criticism unless the person, well, bends over for you.
I am truly sorry for the actions like this towards the community.
Are you sure about that?
And I am truly sorry for acting like this towards you. Peachy, I hope that one day all of you can find in your hearts to forgive me for my mistakes, because I want to learn from them and succeed in life. I hope you find in your hearts to forgive me for what I have done, Peachy. I am sorry, everyone. So, no apology to, Moka then? Alright. At least you did it later, though. Man, how long was all of that? Well, buckle your fuckle, everyone. I'm just getting started with TCS. Now, before I start this section, I want to make two things fully clear. One, nothing from this section is in a canonical timeline, but I am outlining the behavior he shows on Discord since they're still relevant to showcase his true nature. Number two, people such as Flying Scott are not, how TCS puts it, attacking his autism. Me and Flying Scott are not attacking his autism, but we're criticizing him since TCS uses his disability as a way to victimize himself. I don't advocate attacking or criticizing someone purely for having a mental disability, since that's a scummy move to make. Back to the video.
Want to look some porn. Now, alright, I just want to actually say this, that TCS may have not actually posted any of the stuff. It's still worth mentioning, since he was totally fine on sharing porn of characters that are, well, canonically 16, which would be considered child pornography, and all is censored for, well, the sake of your insanity. I got something to say. I killed a baby today. Doesn't matter what my name is, as long as it's dead. I got something to say. I killed my baby today. Doesn't matter what my name is, as long as it's dead. Take love for the dead. Now that was all from the Alpha Swan Surfer. Wait, what was that? Oh, you thought that was it? Nah, you're mistaken. Lizzie and her staff were not, well, to say the least, safe.
Fuck you!
Now I do have one last one though.
Instead of looking at tits, you should be customizing your gun.
Yeah, I actually think I've seen enough for one sitting. That's pretty much the majority for this section as a whole, but there's one more section to unpack on this section, which is the three victims that were involved, one being a significant other of TCS who's pretty much left the community as a whole. We'll talk about her later though, so sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's just jump right into it.
Ow! What? That bitch tried to eat me!
Now, nothing much was actually really found except Vor from Namishima. Now, even though nothing was really shown with TCS and her, I would like to remind you that she was 14. This doesn't target TCS, but I have a theory. I feel like that the actions of what the adults do to minors heavily affects them in the future, with what they find acceptable and when to serve justice. My 3 examples being Ellie Gedelia, Namishima, and Simp, or Mint for those who don't fucking watch the series. Now, after being influenced and being in a situation, it seems that they follow the actions of those who were caught doing so. With Ellie, with being with Heavy the Squid, who did sexual roleplays and posted the photo of him with nothing but his underwear, to Ellie at the age of 15 or 16, I'm not 100% sure when it was. It made Ellie go full circle, exposing Heavy, yet doing the exact same thing by posting nudes and doing sexual roleplays with minors, which were shown in the Ellie video. It's funny how reality caught up with her, to be honest. With Namishima, she fell victim with GF Craze for making a deal with her sending feet pics, which are illegal. With that, I have a theory that the experience impacted her to believe that the sexual behavior is okay, but I believe that she's smart enough to keep it to DMs and not do any sexual roleplays publicly, like some of her past predecessors. And finally, Simp. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory in how easily you can influence him. With how Baz reacted to my video, it seems that the behavior was acceptable, as well as some behind-the-scenes shit with Viola, which ended up leading him to try to talk to a 13-year-old girl sexually when she felt uncomfortable about it. Boundaries. It's also worth mentioning that when people like TCS gets caught with whatever the fuck they're called out for, they apologize to those people, to the ones who literally don't give a fuck, and would probably be on good terms with them once again soon enough. I have a theory that TCS completely blacklisted Moka because he was aware that Moka was fully capable of actually doing something about the situation. Again, it's just a theory.
If you were from where I was from, you'd be fucking dead.
After each person, it seems to get more and more fucked as it gets. With Octoluna, who was 15 years old at the time, it was softcore sexual roleplays, and with some questionable gifts. Fucking kill it. Hey, TCS, do you happen to remember this audio recording of yourself?
It was only a matter of time before a 13-year-old by the name of Layla was in a call with me and Moka. I wouldn't stop talking about being lewd with Peachy to them. I was talking about this to literal minors. Now, people might think of me as a potential pedophile for doing this. I can justify and say that I'm not a pedophile. I've never been into kids. It's disgusting. I despise pedophiles. I can't stand those kind of people. I don't even want to be around them. They're sick and disgusting.
Now, I believe that clip has aged very fucking well, depending if the interactions between these individuals was before or after this apology. If it was before, well, seems you missed a few people to apologize to, and if it was after, well, you've dug yourself a deeper hole, Mr. TCS. You're only furthering our claims with these DMs, as well as being friends with GF and Lizzie, both caught in the lewd house for sexual roleplaying with minors, and what's this? You also sexually chatted with a minor being Tetrakaden and cute Yoshi lover? Your case of not being a pedophile is looking pretty good for you so far. Now, I don't invertly think that TCS is actually into kids, but still. Actions still need to be made, no matter what their intentions are.
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side!
Now finally, we end on Skylar Karate Girl. It's funny that I'm mentioning this person since she's threatening to kill someone with a fucking katana. Now, I know what you're saying, TCS. Skylar was a legal adult and in a totally fine relationship with you. What's the point of bringing her up? Well, I'm not talking about how much of a creep you are for talking to a minor in a sexual manner. That's just an added bonus for me, to be honest. But this section was more of your sexual side on how you could lead you to hot waters. Now, even though your relationship is totally fine, was there any sense of doubt of making these really disturbing Gmod posters of a bondage roleplay with Skylar and then posting a request of said roleplay in the loot house? I would say keep it in your pants, but I know how you act when you get criticized.
Now, after the things I've just seen, I think I might need to grab something to, well, to put it shortly, protect myself from these horny bastards. Another day. The customers. Good evening, sir. Oh. Hi there. I didn't see you there. You must be Joxic, correct? Yeah, my name is Joxic. Why are you asking, man? Toxic is telling me a lot about you. Nice to meet you, man. Wait, was Toxic here actually earlier? No, he isn't here now. He was kind of here a few months ago asking for ammunition for his content killer. If you don't mind me asking, why are you here, man? Yeah, I came here looking if I can buy a weapon by any chance. Do you have any content killers by any chance? Well, I don't have any content killers left, but I do have this weapon if you want it. Holy shit. This looks actually really nice, I must say. So, how much you want for it, man? I'm glad you like it. I can definitely pay you 100 because your friend's Toxic, I guess. Can I do you 50? I guess 50 would work. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the deal, man. Hey, I saw that mask that you had on the desk. What's that for? Oh, this? Yeah, I don't remember where I got this from. I got this a few years ago and I've never really had any use for it. Quite interesting. How much do you want for it? Do you happen to have any Japanese yen by any chance? You're really gonna make me pay in yen? Looks like we don't have a choice, I guess. Much appreciated. I must say, this must look really nice with that hat that you have there. You're saying it would work well on my hat? Say so. Also, one last thing, I'm gonna give you this cloth so you don't get caught by the police with this weapon. Oh, why? You're too kind to me, man. I also can't thank you enough, right? Anytime, man. But there is one last thing I do want to tell you. Oh, you got one last thing to say? Oh, what is it? Watch your back. You got me, man. Do it look good? I'm not actually going to be wearing this for the rest of the video, but, I might just keep this right here, though.
Fuck you!
CCS.
I know you're a sophisticated guy. The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets. What, you think this is going to cause a little more anger? The world is an angry place.
Now, this is kind of a guilty pleasure, but I fucking love when grown adults just get angry over petty drama. I kind of see drama as a whole as an apex predator chart, since people like TCS are totally fine for attacking those who are smaller than him and are an open book with their problems. Yet he is not self-aware of his own actions and tries to twist the story around to get it in his favor, because TCS isn't a fan of being criticized. That's when the apex predator comes in, and that includes everyone that tries to call him out. Polish Guard, Flying Scot, Blazin, legend by the way, just to name a few. What they do is look at it on a broader scale, and while they're involved in the situation, they know what's the right sense of judgment, which is something you, TCS, struggle with your own actions, but totally fine for bashing others for. This is going to be the part where I was going to compare you to H3H3, but I'll save that for another part of the video. A quick example is this comment on someone hoping for a Spartan video. It has now been 11 months since TCS released a Sparta remix. Nearly half a year ago, he teased the work in progress, and since then, not a trace of said work in progress can be found. Now, we can only hope and pray that soon enough, he'll return to us with one of his beautiful remixes. Now, the most logical answer for me or anyone else being in this situation would be just to, tell them that you do not make them anymore, and instead you would recommend another channel to satisfy, their viewing experience. Instead, he flips them off and, for no fucking reason. It's people like you that deserve to leave my channel at this point. I'm clearly done and you refuse to accept it. Go jack up to more remixes somewhere else. This is something positive, not negative, you idiot. And when someone tells you that the reason you barely get any of your subscribers to watch your gaming channel was the popularity coming from the Spartan videos, you just accepted it. Like, it boggles my mind how much of a dumb fuck you are. Yelling at people is also not going to sort out anything. even if someone doesn't agree with you. The most logical choice of action is to accept their different opinions and to move on. Yes, the context of the message is yelling about the Brian Jackson drama, but I'll explain all of that in the end. You have little to no empathy or remorse for anyone on an individual level, but on a broadest level, you care for people because, they're your friends, and, you should look out and stick up for your friends. That is, if they have something to offer for you. And that goes for Ellie as well. Why else would Ellie not side with Moka and others and instead side with TCS? Because there was more clout involved. She wasn't going to gain much from those who served the correct justice, but she missed out on gaining back respect.
Whatever that is.
Further proving my point is all she wants is attention. Why wouldn't she want an interview from the YouTuber Epically Epic? Because she realized she can't get anything off of him due to how small his channel was at the time.
If we're thinking like one of the worst cases of showing his anger was the situation with Jack Trotless. Now, as flawed as much of a scumbag Jack is, it's still worth covering, to say the least. First, for attacking his political beliefs of communism, which I honestly really don't give a fuck about. Like, you can talk about communism and, you can care about the beliefs, but like, it's your choice in the end, because, well, just don't make yourself a jackass and seem annoying about it all, which Jack barely did at the time. Secondly, TCS threatened Jack to not mess up Rudy, Jack's own girlfriend, with his political beliefs, or he'll get personal. Wow. Really just goes to show you must be the brightest crayon in the box, TCS. I understand that Rudy is your best friend and all, but you have no rights to intervene with a relationship in which both parties have actually met each other in flesh. It's Jack's choice if he wants to share his political beliefs, and it's Rudy's decision if she wants to accept his beliefs or not. You're not like their parent to, tell them what they can or not do. Both of them are old enough to understand that. There's no need to baby them and to watch over them like a hawk. But the last bit truly tipped me over the edge. When Jack Trotless sided with the get rid of TCS hashtag, you threatened to end the relationship between them, which is such a dick move to make. I don't remember you being the one responsible or being the judge and executioner. Like, TCS, let's just say you're in a relationship.
Like you'll even be in one.
And one of your friends realizes the fucked up shit you do, so their action or choice was to end that relationship that you've had for, God knows how long. How would that feel? How would it feel to know that a friend ended the relationship because they found out how toxic and how much of a creep you are? Would that feel good? No, of course not. Then why are you doing it? Why would you break a relationship that both people have actually met each other in person? For what? Disagreeing with you and no longer siding with you? Like, let's enter TCS's mind for like just a minute. When a friend of yours makes one bad mistake, such as the incident for Rosa, who tried her best to help you with the drama, you don't hesitate to throw them under the bus and to just drive away. But you TCS, you're some flawless human being. You're immediately shunned from any criticism or hate as long as you just give a half-ass apology video, which is only meant to say, I'm sorry that I got caught. You can have as many chances as you wish, even if there's evidence right in front of you. And you fucking wonder why you're never in a relationship.
Someday, I hope I find a girl in the community actually serious about a relationship. It might happen someday, but you'll never will since you're too emotionally attached to someone and you don't understand people's boundaries. Plus, you try to destroy someone else's relationship for not siding with you.
Ain't it funny? You with them, you say you love me.
But when you don't get your way or someone is trying to destroy your character, whether it's factual evidence or pulled right out of their ass, you decide to choose the nuclear option.
Now, I've mentioned that TCS isn't great too when it comes to taking criticism or anyone trying to destroy his character. In fact, he'll go as far as to spin the narrative so it's in his favor or to get his fanbase to report any video that has factual evidence or shit pulled out of their ass, since he is that desperate to protect his reputation and to abuse the YouTube reporting system. You lead a toxic group of kids in which you manipulate them into believing the other party is the bad guy. You would order your young fanbase to cancel a person who is giving factual evidence on your behavior, as well as creating a hit list of people to block and report for your own bidding.
You do realize that's witch hunting though. Oh, but if you say it's not witch hunting, then of course, it's not. But yet, in the exact next sentence, you're fucking leading your audience to, well, report them. Ironic, if you ask me.
People such as Blazin, Polish God, and Flying Scott are allowed to do what they're doing. Yeah, they may be a little bit toxic about it, but at least they're providing proof and evidence on all your actions. Your childish fanbase attack these people with no remorse and logic. Why? Because the delusional leader told them so. They know the consequences if they think differently. It's dehumanizing. Next issue you should do is to dress them up as stormtroopers to dehumanize them even more if they can't even have a fucking opinion on the situation since it's been sugarcoated by the leader Darth TCS. Now, TCS, the reason why you're so despised by people like us is that you're not credible. You can't own up to your own mistakes correctly when evidence is right in fucking front of you. You attack those who have all rights to make videos criticizing you, which you are not great at taking, and you're a massive hypocrite.
You also seem like totally fine for talking about people behind their backs. Like, poor Genesis. Isn't, Genesis one of your recommended channels on your YouTube account? Maybe we should change TCS to taking criticism seriously or something. Might actually work for you.
Hey, TCS, let's go sarcasm. I think you should catch up with that.
I mean, you're totally fine for talking shit about someone, but the moment it's about you, you just gotta, take out another threat. Like, you're totally fine to make it a video on some kid who made a rant about you, but, I'll be waiting for the day that you make a video on me. But you probably won't do that because you're too much of a pussy to do so.
2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees.
Yo, Joxic.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, look, you exposed a bunch of people, man. You have done a lot of good, and I know it's becoming a chore for you, but you gotta get one more out there, man. You gotta get one more. So, look, this man, you supposed G off, you supposed Viola, you supposed Ellie. Just one more. Just one more person you gotta hit real quick.
Oh, who's that?
You gotta get TCS, dude. You on that bullshit.
Alright. I've already kind of done that. Do you want to say anything in particular to him?
Anything in particular to him?
Yeah.
So, first thing I want to say is, I don't want to hear none of the comments that are saying, oh, you don't know this man. You don't know anything about him. Yeah, fuck that shit. You see, there are screenshots of me being in a server with this man, and I've had a conversation with him. So, I don't want to hear the bullshit about me not knowing him. So, I don't want to hear that because I've been around him. Fuck that. So what I want to say in particular is I was there for the whole Brian Jackson witch hunting shit. I was there for it. I witnessed it. And I was I was in the middle of it. I was in a stalemate, dude. And it was so bad. And I felt it was terrible. They literally witch hunted this man. Matter of fact, just not him. He witch hunts everyone in general that's against him. Like, how the hell do you witch hunt somebody that was being positive towards you? That makes no sense to me. Whatsoever. Like, I remember him talking about, "Ooh, I need to get a girlfriend and whatnot." Look, I have no problem with you. I have no problem with that. But you are so desperate for a girl, bro. So desperate. You know how weak you were. You are a weak man. You are no, not even word. You are a weak man. Weak man. You are weak-minded. We seen all the screenshots. Don't think you're safe. You're not safe. I seen the screenshot. You role playing with Luna. Hell no. You are 21 years old and she is 15. What the fuck are you doing? No, you're not safe. No. So one thing left to say is pull up this Splatoon. One of you want me, bitch. You won't. You're a pussy. You want from me. You won't do it. You know where I'm at. You know my Discord. Hit me up. We can do that. I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna kick your ass. Hell no.
All right. Thank you so much, Stormy. I'm gonna head back to the video. Thank you for your cooperation.
No problem. See ya.
See you, bro. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to compare the snake to Leafy is here or H3H3. With the two, Leafy paid other people to make his videos and was kind of just a lazy person who rose to the top of taking advantage of others. H3, on the other hand, recruited multiple people to attack someone for his own bidding, letting them do the dirty work and to eventually overtake someone else. Through Ethan's podcast, people found out how much of a hypocrite he was with what he said with evidence from past videos as well as his podcast. The hypocrisy and lying TCS does is truly outstanding. Instead of doing a whole video yourself on the situation, you gather an army of smaller people and channels to attack your victim, which in essence, your victims have all right to call you out on your shit.
I know you're fully capable of making fun of a kid who made a rant video on you, but why not do one on me? Oh, because, well, you know what? Let's have a little game, shall we? Would TCS A. Take the criticism and respond in a mature manner? B. Act like a pussy and get people to report this video that you're watching? Or B. Because The answer is B. And I have proof of that. Like, you were scared of your reputation being tainted. You were willing to get people to convince me to stop making this video that everyone is watching now. You know what that shows me? You're scared of me. But you won't admit that to no one, not even yourself. But you know what that really shows me? That you're scared of someone with 1K. What does that really show? You're panicky. Big fucking time.
You cannot talk about it publicly because you're going to bring attention to me and people would realize that you're a scumbag for a big channel shitting on a smaller YouTuber who makes a video on you which clearly stated was for satire purposes. So I pretty much put you in a situation that you cannot win. I'm going to play this clip from his important update video. You may remember it from my video on him.
And I'm pretty sure everyone knows about it. I released an apology on Twitter, but it won't matter to certain people because my opinion is invalid and free speech is dead.
That's a fat fucking lie and you know it. You have full control of what you say. In fact, that's being generous to you. You could go as far as to twist the narrative to make sure that it's in your favor. Your delusional fans and friends have no choice to listen to you because they understand what happens when you don't get your way. You get Darth TCS, force choking any of the fans who speak out of line. In short, you do have free speech. In fact, you have a ton of it to the point that you abuse it so your fans don't have any right to think differently. It really goes to show that fans don't matter for you, as you're not even going to be willing to take action or act like a civil adult for having a different opinion, as well as for someone who tries to sort drama out for you. And while it may have been forbidden drama, if they were willing to support and help you, such as the Rosa incident, all you did was just neglect them and flip them off.
It's like if Leafy said that behind the meme was unoriginal and posted the exact same thing, and everything on his channel was cookie cutter template to talk about the next topic for his fans. You're immediately invalidated, even if you're right, because you're just the wrong person to be saying that.
You have nothing to say when it comes to people like Blazin and Scott, since they're brutally honest with you, and while they may have different motives in the community, they're still sharing the exact same point. You're a fucking pest in the community. They know how to handle when being criticized, and do not criticize you, yet suck your dick at the same time, which is what you want people to believe. You want people to suck your dick, because you want others to believe you did nothing wrong, or you just want them to sweep it under the rug like nothing happened. The worst case I can remember is when Moka gave a massive explanation to you after the traumatic experience that she went through being sent Peachy's nudes, as well as the total sexual deviant you are. Instead of acting as a responsible adult and steering her to go seek help from a traumatic situation, you completely neglect everything you did and to tell them to just get a lawyer. Not caring about any further actions really just goes to show the maturity of someone your age and how sorry you must be for taking a minor on a traumatic experience. I hope there's some part of you that realizes the amount of damage you could do to a child. Fuck me if you're not aware of that. You can mess them up mentally with a traumatic event that they went through, and it would probably live on for a while if the trauma isn't treated correctly. Like, you have no empathy for Moka or any of your victims, since you never take the time to think or visualize being in the same situation as your victims. You just want to move on with your life like nothing happened. Moka mostly spent all this time pointing out the flaws she had with you, some being better than others, and probably spent a while thinking about what to say to send a message to you. And you responded to something within seconds, showing you have little to no empathy and care on what you did to her. You can never relate to your victim of yours since you're not self-aware of your own actions. Like the time that Flying Scott called you out for finding out how much of a liar you are for saying you're well-respected and all. You must have had some sense in your mind that he was right, unless you're that much of a delusional creator that you cannot see past your perfect perspective on yourself. Or maybe you're just that much of a pussy when he calls you out and you finally realize, holy shit, I'm not a perfect person. Like, it is ludicrous to believe that someone 4 years older than me is less intelligent than that of a 4th grader. It seems that you and your group of friends such as Ellie always seems to look for a way to avoid being called out for your bullshit, since you just want to pretend that it didn't happen, or saying you forgot it to save your ass. The only time you actually do something is almost when you're forced to do it. Example being is TCS saying that he needed to go write the script to clear his name with the Peachy situation, or Ellie just straight up crying when people crack down on the situation on her, such as allowing GF to be in a server full of minors, with Ellie's acknowledgement of GF's predatory intentions. But no, he's fine since he's Ellie's friend. It just really goes to show that you're willing to protect your friends over children's safety.
I'm also just gonna play this one clip because it's just kind of funny.
I don't trust it either.
Fine, believe what you want, but I am going to be writing the script
Fucking
tonight.
Jesus Christ, let me finish my sentence. After me fucking crying my heart out last night over some shit that I know I wouldn't usually cry over, I'm fucking done with this situation. Honestly, Peachy has been messaging me this entire time about legal action against you for me being a minor and being put in sexual situations. And honestly, I probably would if my living situation wasn't complete shit, but honestly, I want you to live with the fact that what you put me through and the fact that you made me cry like literally my entire existence out to a bunch of people that you know I don't even trust in the beginning. I just want you to sit there and think about that, because I know you're just self-pitying. That's all I've heard this entire phone call, and I'm only.
Have I been doing it now? Have I been doing it now?
You have.
Yes.
You
No, I
have.
haven't.
Yes,
No, I
you
haven't.
have.
Oof, I have not found that quote-unquote decent part yet.
I have. I've
don't
met
think
a
I
few cool people. You just gotta filter through all the garbage. It's usually the underage people who are the coolest.
Like, I've had enough of my stupidity, and I am dead serious.
See, you're self-pitying again. You're sucking your own ass.
Stupidity.
Now that is irony.
It's honestly surreal of how fucking stupid you are. Like, going against your own words in less than a minute. Outstanding work.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. But the first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshitting me, so boom, I shot him. The thing is, okay, he was right.
Alright. If it wasn't for finding about his behavior and realizing the truth about the whole story about the Brian Jackson drama, I think I would have made this video, because discovering the entire Brian Jackson situation has made me come to a conclusion, but I need to give context for those who don't know the situation. So anyone scratching their heads on who I'm talking about, Brian Jackson was just another Splatoon Gmodder in the community, who made animations like everyone else did. He was 27, and just like every adult member who's in the Gmod community besides Barry Mitchell's, he too wasn't great at dealing with criticism at all, and would go on and attack people who would give him any ounce of criticism, since he deemed it harassment. He too was caught sexual chatting with minors and attacking those who criticized him, and even went as far as attacking someone who impersonated him. Brian and TZ, or T-Zelda, also attacked the user Rudy Octokid Gaming VA, or Rudy, who is Jack Tropler's girlfriend, as she is known after they ended their relationship, which drove her to the point of almost committing suicide. TCS confronted Brian, giving him a piece of his mind. Hi, Future Joxic here. I just want to kind of catch you up onto speed on pretty much everything that has happened up until this point that I'm recording this video, which is June 21st. Now, everything that you've seen so far, except for this, has been recorded around the beginning of June, but there's been two interesting things that have happened up until now. So the first thing being that TCS has actually taken down the original video of the important update that I made a meme out of. It must that he's really that much of a pussy that someone with less than 1k can actually do something, or there's some other reason. The second thing being is that he's actually released some evidence that Rudy, who I spent pretty much this entire video defending from the get rid of TCS hashtag TZelda and Brian Jackson, is that she manipulates him into, doing animations and all that. Now, while that's pretty bad that he is a victim into it, it doesn't really excuse the fact that TCS has also pretty much manipulated his audience into believing on his side and pretty much lashing out on people who don't think differently to him. Now, it is kind of a sus topic to talk about, so I'm not going to go in depth with it, but I'll let you go back to the original video that I was watching. Future Joxic out. At this point, Brian was up against the ropes. He's being exposed for the type of person he was. A clown. The next move he made was ending it all. Now, if we take a look at some of the messages after he took his life, there were some obvious red flags alerting right away. Faking your death is actually a very common tactic these members use to leave the community. Points proving that is the final message referred to many brothers, even though it was suspected that Brian Jackson was an only child. Now,
this was the part of the video that, well, in a short, the mask comes off. Now, I don't want to sound like that I'm defending Brian Jackson, because, well, he's a shit human being for what he's done. But this applies to the action caused by TCS. Now, TCS, you can confidently say that you put the final nail in the coffin for Brian Jackson's career as well as him as a person. In fact, I would applaud you and call you a hero. But let this be Sam Coates and TCS speaking, or should I call you Jordan? Either way. Jordan. All of your hard work of taking down Brian Jackson could have been seen as a superhero's achievement, and everything you might have done may have been forgiven. If you weren't such a fucking hypocrite. It's interesting that people are actually finally waking up and realizing how shit the Gmod community is, how unstable it is, and ultimately it shouldn't cease to be a part of the Splatoon community as a whole due to how much chaos you and your friends cause. You can rave that you took all the glory for the kill, but eventually, what you'll do will come back in full circle eventually. And TCS, your time is up. To conclude, TCS has risked everything to reclaim his glory days. His friendships with people, relationships, his character in the community, as well as dropping out of college. Risking it all on a dying YouTube channel, which would probably get him nowhere. I'm going to end this video on a quote that I've remembered ever since I was very young. Something I've learned from one of my greatest mentors in life. And it goes, if you're going to dish it out, you better be ready to take it.